Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by again, and if this is the first time here on the channel, you're welcome to BLO'S Closet. In today's video, I am going to be sharing with us how to properly pipe the neckline of your senator tops, your native shirts, to have this very clean and relaxed finish. So if you're interested in learning something like this, keep on watching and let us get straight into this video. The secret to achieving a perfect, well-relaxed, piped neckline is by folding your fabric on the bias grain. And as you can see here, I have an angle right here, okay? And I am going to pick that angle and I'm going to fold it like this, okay? So I'm going to fold it until I have what looks like a triangle. So when you fold your fabric on the bias grain, you're going to notice that you have a little stretch there, and this stretchiness, if that is correct, that we have is what is going to help that neckline to relax properly. So right here I have my native top right here, and I'm going ahead to measure out what I have on the neckline. What I have on the neckline will determine how much fabric I'm going to fold in. So right here I have 17 inches all round, so I'm going ahead to fold this again on bias, on bias, okay? And this is me grabbing my tape to make sure that I have up to 17 inches. So this way I'm not going to waste fabric, and I'm also not going to have shortage of fabric. So this is me cutting this out, and this is the piece I have. This is a tiny little piece that I have. So you can see that this part is not stretchy, this part is not stretchy, but this part that I cut on a bias grain is stretchy. So the stretchiness is going to help our piped neckline to be well relaxed, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and start marking 2.25 inches. That is 2 1/4 inch, okay? I'm going to mark it all around, and then I'm going to connect those points using my ruler. You can mark 2 inches, you can even mark 2.5 inches or 3 inches. This depends on how wide you want your piping to be. But for me, I'm going for like a moderate piping, kind of like a 1/2 inch wide piping, and that is why I started to mark 2.25 inches. All right, after marking, I'll go ahead and cut it out like this, and here is my piece, my bias piece. All right, so taking this to the ironing table, I am going to go ahead and start ironing. I'll start by folding in one end by 1/2 inch. So I need you to take your time to do this. If you have a steam iron, even better. So after folding one end by 1/2 inch, I'm going to flip it over and I'll fold the other end by 1/2 inch, and I'll press it down, okay? Now that I have the two edges folded in, I am going to go ahead now and fold this into two, okay? So I'm going to be folding it in such a way that one is going to be slightly longer than the other. Can you see that? I see that tiny little excess that I have there. It's not even up to 1/4 inch. I think it's like half of 1/4 inch. It's like 1/8. All right, so that is how I'm going to be folding it, and I'll go ahead and use my iron to now press this down properly, okay? Like I said earlier, please take your time to iron this out. Don't rush it. Ironing is crucial to getting that perfect piping for your neckline. After ironing it out, I am going to go ahead and open up everything, and I'm going to be inserting this 1 inch hemming gum right in the center. And this is something I like to do. It's optional. A lot of people don't add it, but it gives stability to the fabric and helps to make sure that nothing is moving while I am sewing. So this is like something I've been using and it has been working for me. So when you insert it, you go ahead and fold it all up again, and then go ahead to iron. And as you can see, as I'm ironing, I am using my hand to curve this out, okay? Because this fabric is cut on bias, I am able to curve this out, okay? If I did not cut it on a bias, I would not be able to curve it out and have it still lay down flat like this. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut out the excesses that I have here at the end, and I am going to bring my top and I am going to cut out the excesses that I have here, the excess zipper that I have here. I'd need you to pay very close attention to this part. So I'm going to open up my piping piece that I have here. You can see that little extension, that 1/8 extension that we have, that is going to be going to the back. So I'm going to open this up and sandwich it in between the neckline like so, and use it to cover it up. So that extension that I have now at the back of my piping is what is going to catch the thread on the other side, because we are going to be making a top stitch. I hope this makes sense. I went ahead to fold over this excess piping that I have here to the back, and then I'll take this to my sewing machine and start making a top stitch. Alright, I'm here on the sewing machine, and just like I showed you, I am opening up my piping and sandwiching my neckline in between, and then I'm folding over the excess, like the excess 1/2 inch that I have from the neckline towards the back, and then I'll just insert this into my machine and I'll start making a top stitch. Okay, so I need you to take your time when you're doing this. Okay, just take your time. If you want to achieve a very clean finish, you'd need your stitches to be straight and clean. Okay, so that's why I said you should take your time to do this. So as I am stitching, I am going to be pushing my neckline into this piping like so it may be a little bit tricky because the neckline is curved, and that is why I said you should take your time to do this. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and keep stitching like so. When I get towards the ending, I am going to cut out the excess piping that I have and leave about 1/2 inch that I'm going to use to finish up this neckline. So as you can see, I am approaching the end of my neck, and I went ahead to cut out the excess what is it called again, piping that I have, and I am just folding over that excess to the back, and then I will continue stitching. Okay, I'll keep stitching, and when I get to the very end, I am going to leave my needle in and raise up my presser foot and flip this my fabric, rotate it over so that I can also top stitch like that tiny square edge. And I don't know how to explain this, okay, but you're just going to stitch all around like this tiny end, and I'll flip it again so that I can make a top stitch on the top part, that's the folded edge of my piping. I don't know, I hope this makes sense. As you can see, I'm going ahead to stitch like the upper part, the top part of my neckline at this point. This part is optional. If you don't want to have double stitches, you can just end it with that first line of stitch there at the bottom. And some people go ahead to make multiple stitches, like maybe 1 more stitch in the middle or 2 more stitches, but I'm just going to stick with just stitching the top and the bottom alone. So getting towards the end, I'm going to do what I did previously. I would just go ahead and stitch all the corners, and then I'm going to end up where I started. So I'll just stitch in a little bit and then do a back stitch to finish things up. I'll go ahead and cut out my threads, and this is what I have. As you can see, my stitching is very neat, clean, prim and proper. So this is what it looks like right now. I'll take it to the ironing board and I'll go ahead and iron this flat now. So this is another part where you need to take your time to do this. It might be twisting while you're doing it, but just take your time to iron it. Use your hand to arrange it and straighten it out, and it is going to relax properly. If you have a steam iron, that is even better. If you don't have a steam iron, you can use your water to sprinkle on it to help it relax properly. And this is the result I have: a very relaxed piping, very clean, very demure, very prim, very proper. And I can assure you that if you use this method, you would not be having issues piping your neckline. And you can also use this piping technique on any type of neckline. You can use it to pipe your pockets or anything that is curved or has a curve. And here, guys, is the final look. I love how well relaxed and neat this came out to be. And if you're watching this video up until this point, please go ahead and give this video a like so that more people can get to see it. And if you're not subscribed to this family, please hit that subscribe button. Leave your questions in the the comment section, and I'll see you in my next video, guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Bye, guys.